I did want to give a trigger warning at the beginning of this video. I will be talking about mental health, suicide, and sexual content. Hi, how are you? I hope you're very well. So today we are going to be talking about Trisha Paytas and a video that she posted where she claimed that she is being bullied by the Broadway community, and I thought I would talk about it. So somebody actually asked me to film this video, and to be honest, I don't watch Trisha's content. I haven't ever really been a fan or anything, but somebody told me that she'd made this video, and so I watched it. My initial thoughts when somebody said, please will you talk about your opinions on Trisha being bullied by the Broadway community. Obviously I didn't really know what was going on, but my initial thought is that's totally wrong. Nobody should be bullied or harassed online for their interests and what they like doing. However, I do think that this is a very complex discussion. I hope in this video that I can kind of explain it for both sides, both for the Broadway community and both for Trisha. For those of you who don't know me, by the way, my name is Amy. I make a lot of theatre content on YouTube, so I talk about Broadway and musicals and Glee and Star Kid and all that fun stuff. So if you are interested in that, then please do subscribe, and I'm also on Instagram and Twitter as well. So a little background for those of you who don't know. So Trisha Paytas is a YouTuber. She's been on YouTube for like 13 years, and she's known for doing mukbangs and adult content and crying on her floor in front of her oven, and now being a musical theatre stan. I do have some very mixed opinions in this video, and I will be arguing for kind of both sides of it. So if I say something that you disagree with, that's totally fine, but all I would ask is that you please watch the whole video before you start attacking me for my opinion. Okay, so Trisha has a very problematic history. There are a few channels that I watch who have done videos on kind of her problematic history, so I will share that down below because I think that that is the deepest root of where this is coming from, with the comments and things that she's getting from people within the Broadway fandom. And I think that that needs to be noted, that that stuff has happened. So as I say, I've never watched her videos, and it's just, to be honest, her content just isn't stuff that I would gravitate towards. Like, I hate mukbangs. I cannot watch somebody eating. No thank you. But that's okay, you know, you make your content, I make stuff that most people probably wouldn't like. And that's okay, you know, we do what we do. But I do want to talk briefly about my history with Trisha. I did a video about a year and a half ago that was basically reacting to Trisha Paytas singing Hamilton. I didn't do it to make fun of her, and that wasn't in the video at all. I didn't make fun of her at all. I didn't bully her. It was more actually from a, isn't this so fun? I'm so glad she's having a good time, that kind of vibe. I thought that people would enjoy it. People like watching people react to stuff, and I thought that people would find it entertaining. I didn't get any kind of, you should take this down, you shouldn't be promoting her channel and stuff. You know, I didn't get any negative comments on it. This was before a lot of the really heavy, problematic and kind of harmful behaviour from Trisha online. As more and more throughout that time since have come out about Trisha with the trans community and the DID community and so much more as well, I felt more and more uncomfortable that that was on my channel. I'd never supported her before this. I then certainly didn't want anybody to come across it after all of that had come out, because I wouldn't ever want to be kind of associated with making a positive video for somebody who is being harmful to vulnerable communities. As I say, there wasn't necessarily anything wrong with the video, but anyway, I decided to take it down, and it's probably the only video I ever regret making. Maybe I'll feel that way about this one, we'll see. So Trisha has a history of some really harmful behaviour online. She's got a history of using racial slurs, lots and lots of cultural appropriation, and what can only really be described as trolling, I believe, at some points with particular content creators and communities. At the end of the day, I don't know her, I don't know what she's like in real life, but you know, you see, and I don't watch her channel, I'm not subscribed or anything, I don't follow her on any social media, but sometimes things pop up on your Twitter or on your TikTok. But from what I can see is that I feel that she is a person with some issues. She seems to me like someone who's very confused and struggles a lot. And I also don't believe that people are all bad or all good, but I will get on to that later. You know, I mean, I've known that she's been doing theatre content for quite a few years now, and every now and again people will send me a video and say, please do you react to this? What do you think of this? Have you seen this video? I've not seen the vast majority of them though. I mean, things get through by osmosis, you know, whether it's somebody in the same room as you watching a video or whatever. The thing for me is, I personally don't want to support creators who I think are harmful and have done harmful things and seem to have continuous patterns of behaviour. I think people can do things and apologise for them and move on, but she's not somebody that I would choose to support. As I say, somebody sent me a comment saying, did you know that she'd done this video? And did you know about the situation? Can you talk about it? When they said that she was being bullied by the Broadway community, I was not surprised, but I was a little bit disappointed. So I went and watched the video. Oh my god, it was over an hour long. Like, this is going to be a relatively long video, but not that long, honey. So she starts off talking about her past controversies, much like I just did. So she started talking about previously having used the N-word and said that she's apologised for it. She said she's apologised, she's not used it again. And then she went on to talk about cultural appropriation. And Trisha was saying, this was back in my 20s, but I just wear saris and box braids because I love the culture so much. And I think that's why the majority of people who culturally appropriate do it, is because it comes from a place of admiration. But I still think it's not your place for you to do something. However, the thing is that she's saying in the video, you know, I did that in my 20s, and as I'll explain later, I ended up going through her TikTok, and there's TikToks of her back in April wearing dreadlocks. And again, you're like, that's cultural appropriation, and you're still doing it in April of this year and the videos are still up on your TikTok. So I don't think that you can say, you know, that was all in my past, I'm a completely different person now, when that is still a repeated behaviour that's happening. Now let me make this clear. Being a theatre kid and living that theatre kid life is nowhere the same as your racial culture. But I'm trying to just make a point. I'm hoping I'll explain it well enough for you to not think I'm being offensive. That is not my intention whatsoever. It's not the same. I know it's not the same. But I feel like this is the easiest way I can kind of explain it and find something to link it to. When you're a theatre person and you've done theatre all your life, there is a high chance that you've been bullied for it and made fun of. Potentially, I wonder if, you know, the people who've grown up being bullied for being theatre kids are now seeing someone who is very mainstream on YouTube doing the theatre stuff that is very popular on TikTok. Everybody loves Six and Beetlejuice and Hamilton. And so when they see somebody who's more mainstream doing that, is that where some of this animosity is coming from? I don't know if that is the fact, but it's just a thought I had that I thought I would share. Oh my god, please don't think that I'm being offensive. That is not my intention whatsoever. It's not the same. I know it's not the same. And I don't know if that is this specific reason, but I do know that theatre people are very protective of the theatre community, and, you know, there is a lot of gatekeeping in theatre and in the fandom. I think that's sometimes where it comes from, about the whole you're a fake fan thing, which is like so old. It's like, just let anybody like stuff if they like it. I also think that, you know, the Broadway community and fandom and stuff, we've had our own fair share of scandals, but I think nothing as big as a lot of the YouTube drama and scandals and things, and a lot of that Trisha has been connected to. I think that there is a fear within the Broadway fandom that somebody like Trisha, who has a history of kind of harmful behaviour towards marginalised groups and communities, and, you know, the trans community and the DID community, will also bring unwanted drama and controversy to the theatre community that has a lot of vulnerable people in, a lot of young people as well, and I think that that's really important to address. The theatre community, especially the online theatre fandom, has got a lot of young people, and I think that we older theatre fans will be very protective of that, and I know I certainly am. Well, what I will say as well from Trisha's video is you can tell that she is a real fan. She talks about various different actors and their past performances and having seen them in shows, and she like knows all their previous resume and everything, and you can tell that she is a real fan. And not that that should qualify whether you can be a fan of something or not about how much you know, but what I will say is I think people have this worry that she's just doing this for a trend because it's popular or whatever, which is like stupid anyway, like it's fine if you want to, but she does to me seem as somebody who really wants to be part of the community and wants to just enjoy herself and enjoy liking something. Now, another thing is in the video, she says multiple times, I'm not trying to be on Broadway. I don't think I've got that Broadway talent, but I'm just doing this and I'm just singing these videos and dressing up because I enjoy it. And I personally don't have any issue with somebody enjoying something like theatre and singing and getting costumes. I do think that the theatre fandom have a worry around this because although she's saying she's not trying to be a Broadway performer, you know, she does have a big audience, and people with big audiences are often cast in shows because they sell tickets. There are people who've been cast in shows who are worse singers than Trisha, for sure, and they've been cast. And I think there is also this fear that she will, because she's got this big audience, potentially be cast in a Broadway show. And I would not blame her if she took that role. She loves theatre. This is all hypothetical, but she's, for example, been told that she's going to be in a show. You'd take it 100%, why wouldn't you? And I think there is maybe a fear within the theatre fandom that if somebody like Trisha is put on Broadway as well as the drama and the controversy and things, it kind of illegitimizes the struggle and the talent needed to get on Broadway. It's this whole issue around star casting anyway, which I have very strong opinions on. Maybe I'll do a video on it at some point, but I do wonder if that is an issue. The reason I'm going through all of these hypotheticals and ideas is because in the video she kept saying, I don't understand why people are being so mean to me. So I'm trying to explain reasons as to why people think negatively of her, because like she doesn't seem to understand or realize. So in the video she did show some of her TikToks and share a lot of the comments that she has received, and I have to say I was actually shocked at how bad they were, and I was disappointed. Some of the stuff that was said actually made me like angry. I've never really understood the need to tell someone that you don't like them. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm watching a video and I think the person isn't talented, or I don't like them, or I don't agree with their history or whatever, or I don't agree with their life choices, then I will exit the video and move on with my life. But people feel the need to tell somebody if they don't like them, and I feel like we've kind of been desensitized to the things that people type online. You type something that you think is like, oh my god, so funny, and at the end of the day, that's literally telling somebody to kill themselves. She was doing a Dear Evan Hansen thing and somebody was like, maybe you should reenact Connor's final moments. And obviously Connor is a character who commits suicide. I went on the TikTok because I was looking through and I found that comment, and then there were other people like, oh my god, so funny, queen of comedy. And it's like, do you realize that this person just told a human to go and commit suicide? I will never agree with that. She's done awful things, but I will never agree with that. Trisha's done some terrible things that I think are unforgivable, and that is why I don't support her. And that's why I don't watch her videos. However, I don't need to go and tell her to go and kill herself. And I don't need to go and tell her that she's not welcome to enjoy theatre. And I don't need to tell her that we don't claim her. I do, however, think that people need to be held accountable for things. And I think when she does something wrong, tell her. 100% you need to say, this is inappropriate and this is why. You don't need to say, you should go and kill yourself. Absolutely not. At the end of the day, I truly believe that Trisha will never leave the internet. As long as there is a platform for her, she won't leave it. So going and telling her to kill herself under videos of her singing a musical theatre song makes you as bad as her, and in some ways, in my opinion, worse. I think seeing somebody post a video of themselves singing and then somebody commenting underneath telling them to kill themselves for singing a musical theatre song is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. As I say, she does something harmful, let her know, tell her, but when she's just singing a song, let her live. Like, she's just enjoying herself. That's how I see it, and I'm sure that people will disagree with me, but that's my opinion. When content isn't harmful, either enjoy it, and if you don't, scroll past it, click off it, or even block her if you don't want to see her. But she's never going to leave the internet, so just continually harassing her won't make her leave. So in the video, she talked about Presley, who obviously Beetlejuice is now sadly closed, but at the time of closing, she was Lydia on Broadway, and she used to be cover Lydia and also cover Girl Scout. Trisha went to go and see Beetlejuice. She met Presley and they did a TikTok together, both on each other's TikToks. Presley put it up. She got a lot of negative comments and eventually took the video down. Trisha's video is still up. Trisha did talk about the adult content that she makes and making this video then with a 15-year-old girl. And I think it's a really interesting point. What I will say now is I will never judge anybody for sex work or for what they share of their bodies. That's your body, you do with it as you will, 100%. However, as I say earlier, a lot of the Broadway theatre fandom are very, very young. When you have an audience reach and an influence as strong as Trisha's, I think that there is a responsibility when you are making content for a specific community to be aware of the age of those people. And especially when you use minors in your content, like a video with Presley. Now, in that video with Presley, there is nothing wrong with it. They're just miming to a song. However, if you have your page that there is adult content on there or overtly sexual content on there, then when that's on the same page as something that you've shared with a minor, I think that there are issues there. She did also say that she doesn't post adult content on TikTok, and that does seem to be where the majority of the kind of comments and abuse is coming over on TikTok. So as I say, I did go through her TikTok and have a look through the content, and I did come across a video of her miming to the Girl Scout song from Beetlejuice in a hyper-sexualized costume. Now, the issue with this character is, I think, a preteen, and for you as an adult to not just wear the costume, which would be fine, but wear a super hyper-sexualized costume, that's an issue. It's sexualizing a child. You could say, well, this is a fictional child anyway, and the character is played by an adult, but not always. Presley, as I mentioned earlier, is 15. She has played Girl Scout, so you're sexualizing that child in that costume. That video has 7.8 million views, and a lot of those will be children, and it wasn't tagged as 18 plus or anything. It was tagged as like cosplay, Beetlejuice, Girl Scout. Children are going to see that, and I think it is your responsibility as an adult, if you want to make that content. I mean, I have an issue with sexualizing children anyway, obviously, but if you want to make that content, make it in an adult zone, not on TikTok, which we know is massively for young people and at times preteens and children. So she also mentioned in the video seeing Pamela Anderson and Anna Nicole Smith on the TV when she was younger, and basically saying, well, them seeing me is the same as me seeing Pamela Anderson and Anna Nicole Smith when I was a kid. And I would have to disagree, because when Trisha was growing up, the internet isn't anything like it was now, and you would maybe see a documentary or a news article or an episode of a TV show, and it has a different influence on young people than when they see it on their phone at every minute of the day. And also, the majority of the adult content that Pamela Anderson and Anna Nicole Smith were doing would be in adult places, whereas again, the adult content that Trisha's doing is on your phone. I mean, I've literally seen a full naked picture of her that she put on her own Twitter. Do that content if you want to do it in an adult space, but putting it in a place where children are is not right in my mind. And you know, now a child can go onto TikTok who likes a musical and they've been listening to the Beetlejuice soundtrack, and they go on TikTok and they want to scroll through the TikTok videos, and then this child sees a picture of somebody dressed as a Girl Scout, and they're thinking, is that how I'll look in my Girl Scout costume when I'm older? Maybe I should wear my costume like that. I just think that she needs to be aware of the influence that she does have on the internet. You know, at the end of the day, Trisha has done some terrible things. I will never support her. That's a personal choice. I think that you can change. I personally think that she's done so many repeated things that it isn't something that I will support, but I'm also not going to harass her. If she wants to like theatre, if she wants to make content around musicals. If she wants to just sing a song or do a renegade to Dear Evan Hansen, then I'm gonna be fine with it. I will never target her, and I will never condone anybody targeting her unnecessarily for posting a video of herself singing or dancing or whatever. I truly believe it makes the Broadway community and the Broadway fandom look like nasty and mean people when it is on content that is not harmful. Obviously, things like the Girl Scout thing, I think that should 100% be called out. Things like cultural appropriation should be called out. But when it's nothing to do with that, I think let somebody live. I do honestly believe that maybe if she was encouraged more on the non-harmful content, then maybe she wouldn't make such harmful content in the future, because she gets a better response to positive stuff than to negative stuff. I don't know. As I say, I'm sorry if you disagree with what I've said. I've tried to be as balanced as possible, and I've tried to really look at this towards both sides, because I don't condone bullying, but I also don't condone sexualizing children and her history of problematic behaviour. So I don't think this is a black and white thing, and like I say, nobody is totally good or totally bad. On both sides, I think we need to be more careful about what we post online. Anyway, I'm sure people will disagree with me, but I hope that you can understand that it's not coming from a place of nastiness or without paying attention to history and whatnot. Anyway, I hope that you maybe found this video interesting, and I hope that you're all looking after yourselves, taking care, and I will see you next time for hopefully a more positive video. I'll see you soon. Love you lots. Bye.